Should I take both of them? Okay. Hey guys, how you guys doing? Oh man. What a beautiful event this has been, huh? This has been great. Now it's time for me to talk about some straight up bullshit, dude. Talk about my dick and stuff for a little bit. Close this night out, make you guys be like, yeah, that was great. And then the end was like, okay, yeah, great, awesome. This is cool. You guys all got free books. You guys seem like an audience who will actually read, which is cool too. Any comedy show I've ever done, I'm like, no one here reads ever. No one's ever read a book in their life. And who just won the money? You did? Nice, man. And you're gonna feed the hungry? Because bro, I am starving, dude. I'm telling you, man, I'm a comedian. I need a few bucks here. Chipotle would be dope. This is really fun. Okay, cool. I feel like you guys just, oh, look at that. I feel like you just watched some beautiful stuff, and I'm not really sure to continue with it, you know, to make you guys feel inspired through dick jokes. So, here's something just happened yesterday. This is a true story that happened yesterday. I was going to the bathroom yesterday. Anybody else in here? Yep. Yeah, this dude. You shit, dude. I saw, like, right when I got up here, like, this dude shits. I can tell. I could see it. I knew it. I was going to the bathroom yesterday, and I went to go get a piece of toilet paper, and a spider straight up crawled out of it around the roll and then went back in. So I have not wiped my ass in 2 days. I've not been home. I moved out. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. My roommate's like, where have you been? I had this roommate. I live with a roommate right now. I met this guy on Craigslist, all right? And if you're not familiar with what Craigslist is, it's a site where you go to, like, make new friends. And so I got on Craigslist, met with this new guy, and the thing about me is, like, I like to scare people a lot. It's like my worst quality that I have. It's a terrible quality. I got a lot of ex-girlfriends just based on that quality alone, right? Because I'll scare them, and she's like, that's the 5th time today we're broken up. And I'm like, oh, you're just like the rest of them, huh? And so a lot of ex-girlfriends this way, so that's all I do is scare people pretty much nonstop, all right? So I'm with this new guy from Craigslist, and like day one off the bat, I'm like, I'm gonna let this guy know who I am, let him know who Pat is, right? I'm gonna scare him off the bat, right when we move in. So we're moving our stuff in. I hide in his closet like an adult, and he walks up with a big box and puts it like right in front of like the closet. It was like the perfect setup. I was like, do you know I'm gonna do this? It was like he was like setting it up so well for me. And he sets the box down, and I burst out of the closet and I go, rah, you know? And then he just, literally, when I tell you that this full-grown man screams like a cartoon woman, it was no joke. He just goes, oh! And like his whole body, like his hands screamed. I was like, how is that even, I didn't know you could do that. Oh! He like freaked out. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, what is this? Okay, well, I'm gonna quit comedy. Everything else, I'm quitting my job, focusing on scaring this guy from here on out. This is what I wanna hear for the rest of my life, this screaming. That's it. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful sound. Never heard that in my life before. So for about 2 months straight, I'm just scaring this guy nonstop, pretty much nonstop. I mean, I'm pulling all the stops. I'm under the sink. Do you know how hard it is as a 30-year-old to get under the sink with the disposal and like kind of get in there just to grab his leg so he squirts the soap in the air, like squeezes it. I'm freaking this dude out nonstop for 2 months, all right? About 2 months in, we watched this movie called The Visit. It's a horror movie. Some of you may have seen it before. If you haven't, it's about these 2 grandkids visit their grandparents for the first time ever, okay? They go to their grandparents' house, their parents just drop them off, and then they don't even go inside, they just leave. It's like pretty bad parenting off the bat. You're like, this is not very believable. They just let them go, and they're like, we're gonna go to Vegas. And they leave the kids with their grandparents, and the kids pretty much like off the bat realize that their grandma is like possessed by the devil. Okay, like night one. Like night one at like 1 a.m., they hear like something at the door. So they peek out of the door, and they see their grandma, and she's just like scurrying across the floor, all right? On her hands and knees, she just like just crawling across the floor. And they're like, what's grandma doing, you know? And they close the door, and they're like, we're just gonna go back to bed. And then like a couple minutes later, they hear something else. So they peek back out the door again, and their grandma's just like scratching the wall, okay? She's just like doing this, just scratching with both hands, all right? And they're like, that's so weird, you know what I mean? Oh, and for some reason, this is a pretty important part, for some reason the producers just were like, let's make her butt naked in her 90s. I don't know why they did that. They're like, you know, if it's not scary, we'll at least make people get sick to their stomach, throw up a little bit, and that'll be like pass the movie along. You know, like, oh, this is a disgusting movie. So we watch this whole movie. We're not very scared. We're just kind of grossed out, right? And the movie ends. And my buddy's like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to figure out a way to scare you in the next minute and a half, because that's who I am. That's just who I am, right? So he goes to the bathroom. I go to my closet, and I get a wig out. And it's, and that's like, I don't have time. It's a whole other story. The wigs are a whole other part of my life that I can't even go into right now. So I get a wig out, and I put the wig on, and then I get butt naked, right? Because I want to be in the role, right? I want to be like the grandma. I'm like the Daniel Day-Lewis of scaring, right? Yeah, thank you, sir. Someone gets it. So I get butt naked 2 months into knowing this stranger from Craigslist, right? And I was like, he's gonna lose his mind. And so I put this wig on, and like our bathroom's kind of like around a corner. And so I get on my hands and knees, obviously, with a wig, and I hear the door open around the corner, and I just start like just crawling towards the door. And I'm just like laughing. I'm like, he's gonna shit his pants, right? So like, I finally get on the corner, and I don't hear him scream at all. So I'm like, I must be like right there. And so finally I look up, no joke at all, this dude was trying to scare me first, all right? So he's scratching the wall, and he's also butt naked. Just two butt naked strangers. He's just scratching. I'm on my hands and knees in a wig, just butt naked. If you would have walked in, you're like, what is this gay couple doing? I have no idea. What kind of relationship is this? I'm on my hands and knees. I just looked up right into his ass, like right. And I was like, bring it in. We hugged it out. I'm like, you know, that's like friendship. This is real. Butt naked hug. You know, that's how you know you're real friends now, when you do the butt naked hug. The thing that upset me was that, how can I get dirty? Is this? Okay. I don't know. I just feel that lemonade thing was pretty intense. I don't want to. It's very beautiful, by the way. Very beautiful. You can shoot me as well if you feel like it. The thing that made me upset, though, and this is true, is that when I saw this random man's ass, I was like pissed, because like I'm straight, but this dude had like a fat ass. You know what I mean? Like a good booty. You know what I'm saying? Like if I saw him at a bar, I'd be like, I just gotta buy this dude a drink just to chat about this dude's booty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so. It's just like hair, like there's not a single hair. I'm like, that's unfair. Do you know what I'm saying? Like not a single one, just like a fat Jewish ass. You know what I mean? And I have no idea if it's because he's Jewish. I just know that like he is Jewish, so it's just like, you know, like props, like shout out to the Jews out there. You know what I mean? But I think that we need to be more open about that kind of stuff, right? Like we need to be more like open and like be like, okay, yeah, like men nowadays, we don't ever like really compliment each other on our features, right? Like women are always doing it. They're like, you see Lisa's tits last night? They're so voluptuous. You know what I mean? Like, and guys aren't like, you see Billy at the gym the other day? Got a great bulge at the gym. And I think we need to be doing more of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think we need to be more open about that kind of stuff. And so I did it the other day. I happened to be in a bathroom, and out of my priffs, I happened to see a man's penis, you know what I mean? It was a good-looking penis. I saw it, and I was like, and I went to myself, I was like, just say it, dude. Just let him know. You know? It's like build the future you want your kids to live in. You know what I mean? Just like let him know. Let this man know that he has a beautiful penis, right? And so I was like, took a breath, and I went, hey, I happened out of the corner of my eye to see your penis. And I want to let you know you have just a beautiful penis on you. And then this dude lost his mind. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And he freaked out. And I went, it's just a compliment. No, you can take it or leave it. Just a compliment. And he goes, no, what the fuck are you doing in my house? Get out of my house. I was like, the door was unlocked. I had to pee. The city's, I'm sweating my ass off, and I just ran over here. The city's so funny, man. Like people in Los Angeles, we all live here, I assume, right? No one, are you shaking your head? You don't live here? Where are you from? Why'd you say it so quietly? You embarrassed of it? Vegas. It made it even creepier. Okay, so you came here for this? That's amazing, that's awesome. Give it up for Vegas, guys, that's pretty cool. You live in a hot place, super hot all the time, right? It's a desert. Los Angeles is funny because we're never happy with the weather here, right? We're never, if it's like below 72, we're like, it's freezing. If it's above 72, we're like, it's so hot. Like, we're never like content with it. And if it rains here, like God forbid it rains, people lose their minds. It's chaos. People are like, I think we can turn left on red now. And there's just no rules. Raid the Whole Foods, it's sprinkling. People just freak out. There's no rules at all. I was walking, this is the story of the first raindrop. I was in Hollywood the other day, and it rained, a month ago or something, it rained. And this is the story of the first raindrop, okay? This is how you know that people freak out in the city from rain. This guy was walking along, he's a businessman, a businessman. And he's walking along, he's like, I think we should sell the business. I think we should sell it, Tom. And then all of a sudden the first raindrop just falls, hits him right in the shoulder. What the fuck was that? I gotta call you back, Tom. And he hangs up, puts his phone away, and then gets down like he's being hunted. Like a gazelle on the prairie, He's like looking around for the next drop, and it hits him. And he goes, oh my God, it's raining! And he takes off, runs right into the street without looking, and gets hit by a car. I was like, what? From a raindrop? This dude just ran the street and got hit by a car from a raindrop, and he was laying there unconscious, and I was like, this is crazy. And the guy who hit him was in pure shock, and he was in his car, and he looked over at me, and I was like, oh my God, you just hit that guy. What are you gonna do? And he goes, is it fucking raining? And he just took off. Freaked out. It's so funny. This city's so funny because we hate when it's too chilly, right? We don't like when it's raining, but we really just don't give a shit about fire in this city. That's the thing about Los Angeles. Remember there was a fire 2 years ago on the 101? The hills were burning. It looked like hell. There was a fire on the highway, and people just went to work. They're like, I got a meeting today. I got to get to the office. I got to roll the windows up, roll them up. We're just going to drive right through these flames, roll the windows up, sunroof closed. We got to go. Got a meeting today at the office. Just drove through the flames. Nobody cared at all. It's like the most ridiculous thing. My buddy called me when that fire was happening. He lives in the valley. I live on the west side. And he's like, hey, what's up, man? You want to come over and hang out? And I was like, oh, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's actually a fire. It's on the highway. There's a fire, clearly, it's a huge fire, and it's all through the highway. It's all over it. And he goes, oh, what's that? Oh, just drive through that, man. Just drive on through it. But bring a sweater. It's supposed to get chilly tonight. We don't want that to happen at all. I'll do one more joke, right? That's how long? Okay. I don't know how much time I have. You guys want to hear an hour? I can do an hour. My brother just got a new house, which is really great for him. He's doing well. And he's doing really good. I'm really happy for him. Yeah, it's great. It's funny. As an older brother, he's my little brother. As an older sibling, I feel like no matter what, you always feel like you need to instill wisdom on somebody, right? You always feel like no matter what, you can be in your 40s even, you're like, I still need to teach this person how to live, right? And that's it makes me insecure now that he's doing so well. I'm gonna do well eventually, I hope, if you guys laughed at this next joke. But it's just kind of it's hard being a comedian, and you're trying to make your way and stuff, and you just always feel insecure. Everybody feels insecure. Everybody's got insecurities. If you say that you don't have insecurities, then you're lying. If somebody tells you I don't have any insecurities, just be like, well, what about your elbows? And then just walk away. And then they'll be like, what? Just, are you cool? Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm all good. Yep, that's how they live the rest of the day. But I have insecurities about my brother being doing better than I am right now. Him and his girlfriend, she's an actress. They're doing well. They got this nice place up in the hills. And so I went to his house the other day for the first time to kind of walk through it. And I still felt like I needed to teach him things, right? So we're walking through, and he's showing me his yard. He has a yard. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's where there's grass in front of your house. And so we're walking through his yard, and I was just trying to I gotta tell him something. I was like, you gotta make sure you water this thing. And he's like, yeah, we have sprinklers. I'm like, that should take care of it. Yeah, it's good. That'll work. Yeah. And we go up into his upstairs, and he's like, yeah, I put the TV right here. I just mounted the TV. And I was like, yeah, you gotta make sure you put it drywall mounts, make sure you find the studs. He's like, yeah, well, it's already hung up. And I was like, yeah, well, then looks like you got it. Looks like you got it pretty well. Then we went downstairs, and he has 2 bedrooms. And he's like, Mom and Dad are gonna come in a week, and they're just gonna stay in the extra bedroom. And I was like, what? That upset me pretty bad, right? Because I've asked my mom to stay with me before. And so I went outside, I got my phone, I was like, I'll be right back, call my mom. And I was like, what the hell is going on right now? I've asked you to stay with me many times, like a million. And she goes, well, you don't have anywhere to stay. And I was like, I will sleep in the front yard I just want you to know I'm doing fine. I'll sleep in the front yard. I don't even need, you can use the blanket, the one blanket I have. I'll sleep in the dirt and pull some leaves up on my body. It's totally fine. I'm doing well too. Okay, listen, that was a new joke. It didn't do well, so it's okay. We're working them out. We're working them out. So, okay, here's my last joke. This last one. I was in Koreatown the other night after a show. It was like 10 p.m., so I was already pretty scared. And I was sitting in my car, and I was trying to figure out how to get home on my maps, right? Just sitting in my car, figuring out my maps. And this guy, like a 20-year-old guy, just like skips up, opens the back seat, sits down, and just puts the seatbelt on. And just like looks at me like, now it's your turn. And I was like, what the hell is happening right now? It scared the hell out of me. I went, what are you doing, buddy? And he goes, for Todd? And I was like, oh, this dude thinks I'm an Uber right now. That's what's happening. This dude thinks I'm an Uber. So I was like, well, I could tell him the truth, you know, like let him know, hey, sorry, I got the wrong car. You should, you know, get out and find the real car. Or, you know, I could be the hero this man needs me to be. You know what I mean? I could be the Uber, right? And you're like, but Pat, that's like technically kidnapping. I didn't have anything else going on that night, right? So we just hit the gas, we start driving along, we're getting into deep conversations. You know, like when you're like the people, like when you're like an Uber driver, you start to like get in like these weird conversations with that, like a complete stranger that you never like deep. You're like, yeah, I guess, I don't know, my brother and me just get into fights, and like, you know, I don't really know what to do. I guess my parents are getting divorced. And you're like, why am I telling this guy this stuff? So we're doing this deep conversations, and then he reaches forward and he goes, hey man. And I was like, oh shit. And he goes, you're the best Uber driver I've ever had in my entire life. And I was like, well, I guess I'm definitely getting 5 stars, right? So we just keep on driving along, it's going good. Then his phone rings, and I was like, oh, that's absolutely the real Uber, right? Like, for sure. It's like 7 minutes into the ride, he gets a phone call, he answers it, and he goes, hello? Yeah. No, I'm in it right now. That's impossible, because I'm actually in it. Yeah, I'm driving in it right now, while we're talking. Yeah, no, I'm in it. What? Let me call you back. And he just hangs up the phone and just like slowly looks up into the rearview mirror. And for some reason, the only thing I could think to do was just look back and go. Like, I didn't know how else to react in the situation. And he freaked out. He goes, what the hell, man? This isn't a real Uber. This is technically kidnapping. This is ridiculous. This is illegal. And I went, well, guess what? You got my car without asking. That's technically breaking and entering. We both done some dumb shit tonight, Todd. And he's like, that's a good point, man. I was like, I just saved you $8, and now we're like good friends now. We have like each other's numbers, we chat. I like using Uber because Uber uses Waze. Do you guys use Waze here at all? Vegas, Waze? Okay, this is for you then. Waze is like, if you don't know, do you know what Waze is? If you don't know what Waze is, it's like an app that always Waze wants to make it seem like whatever route you're going, it's a top secret mission. That's what Waze does. So like Waze will like find like the most like unknown route to get to where you're going ever. Like you could live in downtown for like 75 years and turn on Waze and do 2 rights and you're like, where the hell am I right now? I've never seen the street in my entire life. Like Waze is like the Liam Neeson of maps, right? Like Waze wants to be a secret agent. Waze is like, you get your phone and you go, I want to go to Taco Bell. Waze is like, Taco Bell. I can get you there in 7 minutes. We need to go right now. Go straight for a mile, turn right for a mile, left for a mile, turn right for 4 feet, turn left for 1 foot, get on the highway for a mile, get off the highway, get back on the highway for a mile, get off the highway, get back on the highway for a mile, get off the highway, get back on the highway for a mile, get off the highway, turn right in 2 feet, left in 1 foot, turn right in 3 feet, go under that bridge, wait. There's 2 cops ahead on the shoulder. Okay, quick, go across 55 lanes of busy traffic, right in 2 feet, left in 1 foot, turn right into this guy's driveway, it cuts through, trust me, I know him. Left in 2 feet, right in 1 foot, left into this dirt road. I don't see a dirt road, Waze. It hasn't been built yet, bitch. Ah! And Waze is like, you've reached your destination. You're like, oh my God, that was 3 blocks, I'm so high, I should have walked. You guys, thank you guys so much. I'm Pat Quinn.
Thank you very much, brother.